Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are from. I can see, wow, today's session is like a United Nation. We have people from Philippines, from Cambodia, from Singapore, from Australia, where else? From Vietnam, from Thailand, Malaysia, wow, from America, from Canada. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, so once again, good morning and welcome to our Charger. I think we need to take track on the number of interviews that we have done. This is our 6th year, if I'm not mistaken, every single month. Can you imagine? For 6 years. Wow. So this is, yeah, 6 years. So amazing. Huh? And so today, guys, you are going to be at the edge of your seat. Today, we have, I like to call this person the godfather of internet explosion in Kangen. Before this person showed up, most of y'all, if you are with me in the early days, I call it the traditional days. Kangen was run in a very different manner. Okay, it was very product approach. People were talking about sending out bottles and bottles and bottles of water. People are talking about doing physical demos. It's just like nothing wrong with that. Okay, guys, again, I'm not here to run down anything. Nothing wrong with that. It's just like we come from a time where we transition from do you all still remember the analog phone? I'm sure some of you are too young to know this, okay? The one that you have to dial and your phone is connected to a wire. You sit in one place or you put the coin, the coin into the public phone kind of thing. And it transitioned all the way to what you can see today. People having mobile devices, talking on Zoom and things like that. So this person, if I'm not mistaken, way back in, I think as early as 2015 or something, 2014, 2015, this person suddenly surfaced and literally revolutionized the way people do Kangen business. Okay. In fact, I was trying to get him to go for an interview for like 5 to 6 years. So this is a victory for me after so many years. Finally, Jang is in the room. Okay, so I'm so happy myself. I personally, maybe he may not know it. Maybe Matthew, you may not know it, but I've seen you from the sideline. I see you grow from you didn't even have a kid before when I first knew you, young boy, very, how do I say, very boy looking, and you transition, so much. You're now a father of 2 kids, and amazing. Okay, and I still remember meeting Matthew in San Diego, and then we had a very quick chat. We filmed that video. That was way back in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, 3 plus 4, 7 years ago. Can you imagine that? And the amazing thing is, in that video, if you all have not seen it, he says that he doesn't even do a demo. The world that I used to come from, no demo, no sale. Everybody is on demo, give water, give water. Again, nothing wrong with that. But this guy made it in record breaking, I think something like 14 months or something like that, -3. Wow, it's like, whoa. Suddenly the entire environment in Enagic has changed. And today, just a couple of weeks back, all of us have witnessed the massive turnout in Okinawa, how these young people all over the world are revolutionizing the Kangen business with online. So once again, guys, please give your warmest round of applause to our star of the day, none another, the one and only Matthew Jang. Come on, guys. Hey, Matt.
Hey, what's going on, dude? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear, loud and clear. So first and foremost, Matt, from the bottom of my heart and from everyone all over the world, thank you for spending your time to do this interview with us. I'm very sure we will walk away with tons of golden nuggets today.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. Anytime. Thank you guys for having me, and really excited to dive into some stuff. I think we got a lot of cool stuff we can talk about.
Yeah, sure, sure. So we'll like to start off by wanting to know, firstly, are you a Steve Jobs kind of person? Like, like, are you a IT internet tech guy before this whole thing, or you are just a
No,
regular dude like me?
I type with two fingers. If I'm lucky, I can get a third finger in there, but I'm not a tech guy by any means. No, like I have a
Serious?
lot of books. Like even throughout school, I didn't read at all until I think even I don't think I read actually until like besides books you had to read in school until I was probably like 22. So I'm not smarter than anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, like I just got really sick of the way that my life was and was like, I just gotta, I'm not like a computer genius with any of the stuff. I know like a tiny little, I just know a little bit enough, like just
Okay.
enough to be dangerous. And that's about
Okay.
it.
Wow. So, Matthew, tell us what's life before Kangen?
Um, so before Kangen, I was in the high ticket affiliate marketing space already. So we are already running
Okay.
paid traffic to sell high ticket products. But typically it was like internet marketing education products
Okay.
or things like that. And before that, I was at a butcher shop making $9 an hour.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of first got into meeting. I don't know if you ever met Cameron, but Cameron and Dakota
Okay.
who like taught me how to run Facebook ads and build sales funnels and write email copy and sales copy and all that stuff.
Right.
Uh, so yeah, that was probably 2013 or so maybe that I saw them. And
Okay.
then so yeah, for a couple years before Enagic, and then funny enough, like with Enagic, uh, yeah, so we were already kind of marketing products, but we didn't have it was all digital, and we'd always go to these mansion events,
Okay.
and at every one of these events my friend Cameron would have this water machine, and we
Okay.
didn't know what it was, right? And we were asking like, oh, what is this machine? He's like, don't worry about it, just drink the water. And he goes, you're gonna feel great, if you guys are drinking or anything, make sure you drink a bunch of this and you'll feel a lot better tomorrow. And
Okay.
so we started drinking the water, and anytime we go into his house, and we just noticed that like we felt so much better. And we yeah, so we just felt really really good getting the water, and we had no idea there was a business plan attached to it or anything. And so when we originally first got introduced to it, we were just buying it just because the water was incredible. We were already marketing and making good money selling other stuff.
Okay.
And we yeah, and then we got introduced to that, and we saw the value of the product, and we're like, damn, we need one of these things.
So,
And then yeah, what were we gonna say?
yeah, so Matthew, you're saying that this guy called Cameron, so he's like your sponsor or something like that?
Yeah, so in a Magic, he was my sponsor, and like he was the first one that really taught me how, like from when I was making $9 an hour at a butcher shop, he showed
Okay.
me how to like go from there to quitting my job, making my first $10,000 months,
Okay.
building my first sales funnels, doing a lot of my
Right.
first videos.
So
That's
this
really,
Cameron guy is actually a internet marketer.
yes, yeah,
Right. Right.
yep.
And he then got into Enagic.
Yeah. So he had a Magic a while. He had a Magic before, but we were all selling other stuff. We just
Right.
had it just for the water.
Okay.
And then the company that we were with had like misled us about customer data and how much customers were worth, and they started changing the comp plan on us and a whole bunch of stuff. And so we,
Was this the GAZ days?
yeah, so we had GAZ. We basically had that system built just before we launched the Magic.
Ah,
So we
okay.
had it already done, and
Okay.
then basically that's why it's a little misleading when you see that, like, yeah, we went 6A in
Yeah.
super fast and like
Yeah.
dash super fast. We already had another team, right? So we already had
Right.
another team. We didn't feel good about the products that we were promoting because we were being misled about some of the information about the products and how they worked.
Okay.
Um, and then we ended up going, well, let's see what happens. We already have the product. Why don't we just try? And we unplugged the other product. We put a demo. So we still do demos, just we had Balaj do the demo,
Okay.
right? And so we put
Digital
Balaj's,
demo. Digital demo.
yeah, we put Balaj's digital demo in there.
Right.
And then it went crazy. Yeah,
So,
it went,
but that time, Balas has not kickstart his internet marketing journey yet, right? It was just you.
no,
It was just you,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, no, we had come over there with a system that we'd already had built, and we kind of
Right.
brought it over there. Yeah.
Right. I just okay, Matthew. I just want to hear from your point of view. Now, the internet marketing part is basically a marketing platform, right? Where you can literally sell anything under the sun, right? Why choose Energic? Why choose Energic as a product? I mean, you can sell luxury cars, yachts. Those are all high ticket items as well. Why Energic?
Good. I mean, great question. And this is funny, like where a lot of people, like especially younger, if you're getting younger people, if there's any younger people in the audience, they maybe not have seen a lot of other things that are in the space, because there is. I mean, anyone that's been in the industry long enough knows that there's all types of products out there, all types of high ticket products, all types of different companies. Why an ad? Like, why would we pick this one? Well, for us, first, like I came from a high ticket background, so anything that I would promote, that's just where like my advertising strategies and everything that I've learned work well with high ticket. So the products have to be high ticket. And the reason why is because that allows me, if I can earn a big commission, it allows me to spend more money to acquire a customer. Right. If I'm in something where I have low ticket products and I'm selling products for $100 and I make $30 on it, right, I can only spend, $15 maybe to acquire that customer. Very, very difficult to do. Right. But if I can make more money, I can afford to make mistakes and mess up on my ads and still be profitable. Right. And so, one, we're always in high ticket. Now, the cool part, typically in the high ticket space, in whether it's network marketing or affiliate marketing or really anything, you have groups of people, and what do? They get into something, they sell it for 2 years, the hype gets really hyped, and then all of a sudden it kind of dies down. Oh, we got to re-engage people, so they find another thing to sell, and they sell that thing for 2 years, and it's just this constant build, and then it dies, and you build it, and then it dies. And I got really sick of it. We had seen it happen twice, and every time that happens, who gets burned, right, is the brand new people, the people that just get started, and now all of a sudden it's not doing this thing anymore, it's this thing. So we were kind of sick of that. And then when the last company had kind of misled us about customer numbers and customer data, we were like, this is another one that I don't feel good about being with long term. And kind of how the water was introduced to us was it naturally, right? We were at events, they just had the machine. We were just using it. We weren't being pitched it. We weren't being pitched it as a business. It was just, hey, I think you guys would love this. Try this water. And we just started really loving it. And so we're like, we wanted to buy it for most of the, when you're in network marketing or multi-level marketing or affiliate marketing, usually like people aren't buying the product unless they're making money from it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the products aren't the greatest products. It's just, I make money with it, so that's what we're going to sell. This was one of the first times where we were buying the product just for the product without the intention of selling it at all. Then when we had all these issues kind of come up, it's like, well, this is a company that's been around at the time, I think 40 years.
40
and so
years.
For us, we're like, hey, this company's been around for 40 years. That's something that for me, I feel really good about. The product is incredible. It's something that we already know that we love. The only issue and hang up I'm having is we're used to selling digital stuff. This is now physical. Like, is that going to work? I really didn't know if that was going to work at first. And so when we first bought the products, we weren't actually going to sell it. We were going to find another coaching program or affiliate marketing education program or build something, and we were going to sell it. But we couldn't find anything that we felt really good about. If we were going to build something, it was going to take us a super long time to do. And we had affiliates that needed something. We shut off the campaign, even though we were making money, because we didn't feel good. I knew I could make 50 grand the next month spending about 20 grand on ads, but or 15 or so. But if I did that, I don't feel, I have to feel good about the company I'm promoting. So the second we start finding out they're misleading us about how much customers are worth and how the tools work and all this stuff and what they're doing with all the data, right now, I can't feel good about it. So we shut it off. And then I think it was Julian where he's just like, dude, we have the water machine. Affiliates need something. We want the water machine before we ever wanted to sell it. So that's a huge thing for us, because now we can use that in our marketing. Like, we were going to buy it regardless of whether it had a business or not. And then when we go through the numbers, it actually works out where the margins are very similar to what you'd get with digital products. And we're like, damn, like this actually could work where it checks all the boxes. Like, it allows us to earn high enough commissions that we can afford to spend money on advertising, but it's also a product that we'd actually buy even if we had no intention of selling it. We'd buy it just for the value of the product on itself. And so, and on top of that, it's been around at the time 40 years, now 50 years, right?
Oh.
And so like this now has been my longest stint where I can feel so confident saying like, I'll never promote another company. I'll promote Magic forever. And I feel so good knowing that, like knowing that I can just keep building this forever. And like, that's how they, in Japan, that's how they set up companies. They don't set up companies to be around here for 20 years. They set them up to be there for hundreds of years, thousands of years. That's something I want to get behind. And I don't want to build something that just, I got to rebuild over and over. I'd rather build something that I can just keep building and keep growing. And that, you know, ticks all my boxes. I feel great about using. I use it. My whole family uses it. Every single person in my family has a K8, you know, and then some have an Espas. And so something I feel great about. They pay extremely well. It allows us to be able to spend money on advertising and it still be profitable. So it allows us to run a profitable business and feel great about it.
So Matthew, I'm not sure in Canada or US, but here in Asia, there are some affiliate marketers or digital marketers. They have some concern or some issue with, they are okay with selling high ticket, but they just don't like the idea of network marketing or the MLM part behind. Do you guys face that kind of issue in your country?
Yeah, like of people like not like the negative association to network marketing, multi-level marketing. Yeah, you'll get that everywhere just because it's such a, you know, people hear the word pyramid scheme or this or anytime they see anything, and it's like, God, you know, look at any company that's ever existed ever. You know, they have a CEO. Under the CEO, they have CMO.
It's a real pyramid.
Every fucking company that exists is a pyramid. The only difference is this allows you to actually earn like you're at the top. You know what I mean? So the big thing that I use to explain this is part of the big reasons, and I think the biggest benefit of this is the same way as if I was going to say go into real estate. Now, if I was going to go into real estate, you can go into real estate and you can make money selling houses yourself. And that's great. Where's the real money? The real money is not in you just selling the houses. It's in you having a real estate company where you have other realtors selling houses for you. And now instead of you just making money selling the houses, you're still selling them and you're making money, but now you're also making a percentage off of all the other people that are selling houses too. You're incentivized to help these people so you can spend money, like spend time and efforts training those people. And as they start to make more, you'll make more. Like it's a great model in that way. And it can give you leverage, right? And this is actually another piece that really unlocks the profitability when it comes to paid advertising, especially right now. Because right now, paid advertising has gotten more expensive than it's ever been, right? And it will continue to be so. It will constantly be more expensive. It's not going to get cheaper ever. You'll have new platforms that come out, but attention's going to go up. Attention's going to, like, the cost of attention is going to go up. So we need to be able to have a higher customer lifetime value. Now, if I'm selling a product one time and I only get paid off my efforts, right? Like one customer is only worth so much, right? But if I sell one customer and that one customer can turn into 100 customers or 1,000 customers, right? Again, now I can afford to spend a lot more money to acquire that customer because it could potentially be not just one, right? And so the leverage of that where,
Actually, if you think about it, Matthew, you are actually using the internet to build a sales force all over the world. If you can think, if you can see it that way.
That's all it is. The internet part's just the generating leads. Like, you know what I mean? Like, other than that, the sales part's still the same. You're still doing the same stuff. Like whether it's a demo, we just have videos that do the demo, you know, but it's the same thing. Even after a demo, they get on the phone with someone probably. We did the same thing. We got on the phone with people, you know, like but all we're doing is the internet for is just for generating leads.
Right. Guys, for those of you out there, I know before this, you have been asking me tons of questions. So the man is right here in front of us. If you have any question at all, feel free to put it in the chat box there. Charger will be monitoring it. And I'll ask the question on your behalf to Matthew so that all your questions, all your wonders about internet marketing will be answered. Okay. Well,
we're waiting for a couple of questions to come through too. Like big things to do, like big trends that are coming out. One, obviously advertising is getting more expensive, meaning that people that are selling, like there's a lot of people in the industry of high ticket, we'll say, that are just selling like high ticket coaching or high ticket, you know, mentorship packages or retreats and things like that. so many of these companies are now going under because they don't have what we have. They don't have leverage, right? And so they're constantly dealing with having to get new customers.
That's right.
And the second they stop getting new customers, it stops, right? Like it's they don't have the leverage of being able to have groups of other people going and doing it, which is what allows us to be able to still be profitable now, even though there's a lot of companies out here that are falling under right now. It's so one, we should very blessed to have an Agic and have the leverage component,
Okay.
because it allows us to still be able to afford to spend money on advertising and do it profitably. Another trend that you'll see likely is that there's a huge push lately in that we've seen in a lot of our teams with the organic growth,
Yes.
both on TikTok and on Instagram. And if you guys aren't already doing this, but I would be following everyone that's doing that. Like, I don't know if you know Carly. Carly loves kale. If you haven't seen her in our group, she just did, I believe, like $180,000 last month or something crazy.
Oh, wow.
She's a great one to follow. She does all organic. She just started running ads, but the majority of her sales are coming from organic. So you look
Okay.
at someone like that, doing really
I
well.
do you know a guy called Brandon Brown?
Yeah, I know Brandon. I know
Yeah.
Brandon.
I think a few times that I spoke to Brandon, he advocates organic marketing,
Yep.
and he says, I don't know, because there are some platforms that I've actually experienced. It takes a bit too long, the learning process, like 6 weeks, or
Yep.
School of
6
Marketing.
weeks, 8 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Brandon's style is more like he goes into Facebook groups and
Yeah.
target people from there. What do you think about this strategy?
It's obviously like it works for some, like this is the thing, is like there's so many ways to make things work. When it really come down to it is the way that I assess things for me personally is like I always loved the reason why I love paid advertising is when it comes to advertising, there's two
Okay.
ways to do it,
Okay.
right? You either spend time or you spend money,
Money.
right?
Yes.
And there's two different ways to advertise: spend time, spend money. That's it,
Yeah.
right? And so basically, when I say spending time, that's going out to meet people, that's going in networking events, that's going into Facebook groups and chatting up everyone in your and their sister in a Facebook group and trying to tell them like, hey, do you keep your income options open? Come buy my thing.
Right.
Like you can do all that stuff. You can go around and do that. That's awesome. It works. But you are limited by how much time you have. And so there's a cap to how much that can do. And I don't know how many of you guys want to be doing that for the rest of your lives.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, like if you guys look at my schedule, like I'm with my kids pretty much all the time, and I golf a ton. I golf like every day, every other day. I'm with my kids the rest of the time. I work maybe 5 hours if I'm busy, 10 hours a week. Like I don't work a ton, yet we still do a ton of volume. I have multiple other companies, and they all run very similarly as well. Um, Everything. So when I look at it, is like leverage again, right? I can spend my time, my most precious asset that I have, and I can go running through Facebook groups. Now, in the beginning, it depends where you're at, right? If I have more time than money in the beginning and I don't have much money to spend on advertising and all I have is time, well, that's what I got. So that's what I got to use. Right.
Okay.
And so I use that and do whatever I got to do. If that means Facebook groups, that means networking, whatever I can do, because I don't got the money to spend on ads, I'm doing that then. Right.
Right.
But once you get enough money doing that, then I would definitely be going, okay, how can I use some of that money and buy back some of that time? Right. So that I don't have to be spending as much time there. Instead, I'm going to be spending money to get people to see my videos and have them come to me. It's also a position change as
Right.
well, right? Instead of you approaching people,
Yeah.
these people
Great.
are now coming to you. Right.
Right.
So it's very they're selling me on why I should work with them versus me going into group and trying to convince people, right?
Right.
And trying to convince them to work with me. Right. So
Right.
it changes a little bit there. But at the end of the day, in the very beginning, you just got to figure out where you're at. If I have more time than money, then I'm going to be spending more time. I'm going to go into Facebook groups. I'm going to network. I'm going to do organic content. I'm going to do whatever I can on the free side. Once
Okay.
I make enough money there, then I can use some of that, put it into an ad budget so that I can buy back some of the time. But if I have the money, then yeah, I would be spending money on advertising all day. You'll hear a lot of people that talk shit and like, oh, they'll go, oh, build a business, but you don't have to spend any money on ads. And it's like, that's just a very quick way to tell that someone doesn't know how to run ads, right? Because no
Right.
one that knows how to run ads would say that, right? If you knew how to do it, you would do it all day long. Because if I can have let's say I have a magic vending machine, and every single time I put $1 in, I get $10 back.
No
What are you
brainer.
gonna do?
No
What are you
brainer.
gonna do? You're gonna sit here all day long and just keep putting dollars in over and over and over and over again, right? And so, like that's where that part gets. I don't have to ever worry about saturation or not having enough leads or any of that. I just pay for them, right?
Right.
And I can have unlimited leads, like
Amazing.
as many as you can handle in that part. And so if you know how to do that, the only thing is there is skill. Like it takes a little bit to figure out how to do it. But
Okay.
just like doing a demo, right? It took a little bit to learn how to do the demo properly. Same thing. You're going to learn how to do a mini demo before the demo. That's an ad, right? That you're
Right.
going to use as your video for people to kind of reach out. And it's going
Right.
to go, hey, I'm Gary, or hey, I'm whoever, you know, and you talk about kind of everything. So some people go after the time freedom angle or the vacation angle. Some people talk about like the retiring angle. I never really understood why people would work 40 years of their life and then just hopefully retire when they're 65. I think we'd much rather travel when we're younger. And so I never really got that. And when I wanted to learn, how can I make a business that allows me to retire earlier, be able to travel and do these things? And I was able to find, someone that taught me how to do it. And if you want to see how I do it, shoot me a message and I'll show you how to do it. Something simple like that.
Right.
It doesn't, that's just one angle. You just pick different, some people are like, they all travel as a couple. So they do all their content about them traveling and experiencing different cultures. And that's what they love. Some people love it and they stay at home and they're with their kids and they're at every sporting event and every dance recital and all the things like that. Some people don't have kids and they travel on their own or whatever it might be. But it's really just kind of like dialing in the content and audience that you're going to speak to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matthew, coming from a person who have made it in the internet space, especially in Kangen, do you have to, like this, everybody's question to me is like, do you have to keep postings, contents consistently every day on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok? Do you do that? I mean, like to show,
so
to show
the
your
thing
message?
is,
Yeah.
I can like, should I be doing this? Yes, I really should.
Yeah.
I dialed back my advertising in the last little while, and I've been more so working with a lot of the teams. But let's say if I'm either just getting started or I'm really building stuff out, or I really want to just turn everything on,
Yep.
yeah, I would want to be posting multiple times a day.
Okay.
Every day. And the thing is, a lot of the posts can be used on multiple platforms. You know what I mean? Like you can post something like on TikTok that can be used on YouTube Shorts, and it can be used in a reel on Instagram.
Right.
You don't need to make necessarily,
Okay.
a ton of them. So
Right.
the easiest way to do that is take one day a week. You take a Sunday or a Saturday, whatever day is for you, Tuesday, whatever it ends up being. You take one day where you shoot your content for the week,
Okay.
right? And you just batch it all in one day, shoot it
Okay.
all for the week, and just do that week over week. And if you do that, if you do that for say 4 weeks before you ever post, don't post anything, just make a backlog. So you have 4 weeks of content ready to post
Okay.
before you post day one. And then just make sure every week you just shoot one day a week.
Okay.
And it depends too, because some people just do pictures. They don't even just do shooting. Like they just use pictures and they just do voiceovers. They don't even do on video. So you
Okay.
don't have to do video. I would definitely recommend doing like how like still real. So like even if it's not you on camera on the video, like voiceover with pictures and stuff, like it does seem to work better the more video stuff you put out. But it seems to be more than ever that people are more skeptical than ever, I think, right now. And I think they really want to know that they really want to know the people that they're going to be working with if they decide to work with them. And
Okay.
the more content you have out, the more they really feel like they know you before they know you.
Right.
Like if they
Okay.
show up to your page and you got no videos, and they've
Okay.
never heard your voice, versus you go to Gary's and he's got video, 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 video. They
Right.
know
Right.
who Gary is now. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's like we're noticing that a lot where even when you're even for say for example spending money on advertising, the organic doesn't necessarily get you many more sales like from organic as much. What we have been noticing a lot is like if you're running ads and then you're doing really good organic, it helps your ads convert better because like they see your ad, then they go organically look at your page, right? They go look
Yep.
at your Instagram, they look at your Facebook, they
Right.
look through a bunch of your stuff, and then they kind of decide if they're going to go in or not.
Okay.
So that seems to be like a big piece now where before I didn't have to ever do organic content. I did only ads.
Right.
Like when I like 10 years ago when I first got started, I never did organic content really. I kick myself now because I wish I did, but I just didn't.
Okay.
Didn't do enough of it, but now it seems to be that it's a more common thing because there's just so much competition with other people that are doing it. So
Okay.
it's just like if you're not doing it, your leads are going to see other people that are doing it,
And
you
they're
know,
gonna join them.
and they're going to join them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Matthew, tell us. Let's just say, okay, let's just say I'm brand new.
Yep.
Maybe I know a little bit about posting and things like that, and I want to make it work for my Kangen business with the internet. What are some of the things that I need to get it done today? Like, what do you? Where do you recommend that I start? Where should I start? Let's say I've not done anything yet.
If you haven't done anything yet, well, it depends on. So with your group, what's the main conversion method that you guys use? So like, what do you teach people to use? Like, say for example, I'm a brand new person. I got a lead. They're hot. They want to learn about an adject. What do you tell? What do you teach your people to send them?
Before this, it's all very traditional. We meet them face to face, do a
So it's
demo.
all face to face. Do you have any? Do you have video demos at all?
Of late, yes, the last 2 years, yeah, we started with the
Right.
live
So
demo.
right now you have a demo or something that I could share with someone. Like I'm just trying to, because basically what it comes down to is whatever people use all types of conversion methods.
Okay.
Meaning some people go to a webinar and then they sell
Okay.
tools for $99 and then they go through a process and sell an adject. Some people go to a demo video, they just see an adject and they just buy an adject. Some
Okay.
people sell products on the front end and then buy. Some people, just meet in person. Like the conversion method doesn't really matter, but it's just like, what are you teaching? If I'm teaching people, go give out this demo and get people to
Okay.
see that, then my goal would be, how do I get 20 people to watch this demo today? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
what it depends on, or if it's meeting up in person, how am I going to get these 20 people to meet up with today? Right? Like, where am I going to be finding those? For meeting up in person, a little bit different advertising strategy than I'm familiar with, but whatever
Okay.
you'd be teaching there, maybe it's Facebook groups, maybe it's certain networks that you have in the community, maybe it's Craigslist ads if you're in the US. I know a lot of people are doing that.
Right.
But it would be whatever my conversion method is. Like for one that's working really well for us right now is going a free ebook that
Okay.
goes straight to basically a discovery process that explains an adject and like a demo that
Okay.
goes over the product and the business side of an adject, and then straight to a phone call. Right. So if that was a brand new person and I was telling them what to do there, it would be like, okay, we want to get as many phone calls booked as you possibly like. That's the goal. How do I get phone calls booked? Right now you got zero.
Yeah.
So how can I get 2 phone calls today? Can I
Okay.
get 2? No, I can only get 1. All right. Can I get 1 every day?
Okay.
Cool. If I can get 1 every day, great. And I'm going to stick there and get 1 every day. Now I'm going to try to get 2. All right. Can I get 2 every day? Awesome. Now can I get 3? Can I get 5? It's just like, it's really finding out what are the metrics. Like if I don't get anyone to watch the video about the demo, nobody's buying. So
Right.
how do I get people to watch the video about that and book a call with me?
So, okay, let's just say this person is, before all this, is just a very casual account on Facebook or on Instagram. Casual, like just showing what I eat or go.
Yep,
Now I
yep,
want to do business. I want to
yep.
promote Kangen. I want to show lifestyle, freedom, whatever. Do you recommend people create another page for it, another account for it, and start a Facebook group on it?
So this is a personal preference of how you want to do it. How
Okay.
I did it was I
Okay.
ran it out of my personal one. I didn't care. I thought, hey, I got some people there at least.
Okay.
Like it's better than no list.
Okay.
Right. I got this list. I'm going to use that.
Okay.
And then I also created a business page, right? And I use that too.
Okay.
But when I first started, I just used my personal one. Some people, obviously, like maybe they got a boss that doesn't like the business or the job they're at. They're not allowed to do it, or maybe they don't want their friends to see it. Whatever reasoning they may have, sure.
Okay.
Then just go start a fan page or start another page that's just specifically for business. If
Right.
you can use your personal page, though, you have a list already. So I do recommend people use it. I think people get too worried about what other people are thinking. And I think getting that out of the way as fast as possible is good, just because you're going to have people that aren't going to like it. It's going to happen regardless to whether you use this profile or not. There's going to be people that they're going to see it. They're going to say stuff. That's part of life.
Right.
And so you kind of just get over, you're going to deal with it anyways.
Okay.
But so I don't think it's as big of an issue. of whether they do it on their personal one or whether they make a new one. The issue is, doing it? Are you gonna do it? You know, like what posting consistently is, I think, the bigger part.
Right.
And like,
you need to show the world what you are promoting, right?
yeah, I think a big part is like, and getting good at like telling stories about what's happening.
Okay.
And so like you'll have maybe different people in your group that are getting different results. Like in the beginning, it's hard because you're like, I don't have a result to share yet. Haven't made any money yet. What am I supposed to talk about?
That's
Well,
what a
guess
lot
what?
of people's concern.
Gary has a ton of great results that you could talk about. You know, a lot of people in here probably have results. Maybe they're not directly tied to you or whatever. It doesn't matter. Here's my friend Bob. Here's my friend Helen. She went out and made X, Y, and Z, or she went out and was able to do this. You know, like you can share. Like in the beginning, that's what I did, is I used other people's stories and I would share other people's results until I got my own results. And then once I got my own result, then I'd share that result to get another result, you know?
Right.
And it was kind of just a constant thing of like, what are you learning today? Oh, I just learned about Facebook ads today, or I learned about shooting videos today. And so what I'm going to do is going to be implementing these videos for the next little while. I'll let you guys know how these things go. It's not so much that you have to come up with the content. It'd be more so about like documenting what you're doing. What am I doing? Like, I just went to Okinawa. Great trip. Start explaining about the event and what's the importance of going to events and why do I surround myself with people like that? You start talking about, I was just on a call like this. Why do I go to these calls? Because I want to get surrounded by people that have the results that I'm looking to achieve. And I want to find little nuggets that I can take and apply in my business so I can start to go get those same results. There's another post, you know, like it's like you just kind of document what you're doing and what the group's doing, you know, like it doesn't necessarily need to always be you. You can be borrowing other people's results. Right. And I'm doing that stuff, but it's really about, it's like shifting your identity. And this is why I do recommend them doing the personal profile. Even if they, you know, unless they really, really don't want to, I do it. But is because it's like in order to do this, like it has to be like an identity shift of you. Because for example, when I first got started, like I'm an employee, I make $9 an hour. I've never run a business before successfully. You know, I've never had a sales job successfully before I do any of this. So like I had to shift from an employee and an employee's mentality to I'm an internet marketer. Like I'm a professional internet marketer. That's what I do. Right. And so like that doesn't just happen right away, but it comes from like posting consistently, making sure that you're showing up on calls like this and that you're learning consistently, you know, going through different courses on learning how to run Facebook ads, or courses on how to write copy, or paying for mentoring from people that teach you how to do a demo or how to do the demo properly, or whatever, like spending the time to learn all the skills necessary. And I think that's a big piece that I wish I really harped on more. I felt that we automated too much in the beginning with people, and we made it where like, oh, don't use ad video, use our ad videos. You know, don't build your own funnel, use our funnel. Don't do your own webinar, use our webinar. Right? That's great and it's awesome while it works, but what happens if it stops? Anyone else that's using it, they don't know how to build that all. They don't know how to make that all work. Right? Same thing with like
dependent.
Right, exactly. Right, where if you teach someone how to do the demo, right? Even if they're using someone else's video of a demo, if that say stops working, or maybe they don't have access to the video anymore, they can go shoot a new demo.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now use that one. And so a big thing now is like the shift in identity and being like, I'm a professional network marketer, affiliate marketer, internet marketer, however you want to call it. But that's who I am. And so as that person, like if I was that person and I was successful, what would I be doing every day? Would I be reading every day? Would I be going to events? Would I be masterminding with people every day and sharing ideas? Would I be posting content every day? And if yes, then I better be doing those things. And it's just like, it's not like it's got to be crazy, but it's just like, what are the consistent things someone like that would be doing every day? And you do that enough, you eventually convince yourself like, that's who I am now.
Right.
Like, you know, like this is just what I do. Right.
Amazing. Yeah. Thanks, Matthew, for sharing that very important mindset that we need to have in order to go on this internet journey. There's a question, Matthew. Can you actually show us a sample of your sales funnel or lead capture page?
I'll show you some of. I'm pulling up some right now.
Okay.
The way we have it now is like we have a bunch of groups that all run systems. So what I'll do is I'll show you one system that I have access to that I've been spending a bit of time with. I'll show you a couple funnels. So one's an application funnel,
Okay.
which I will send here. I'll post them in the comments here so you guys can see.
Okay. Do you
Um,
want to do a share screen?
you want me to share it? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Charger, is Matthew able to share it? Okay. Yeah, you can.
Oh, you know what? That's the wrong one. Sorry.
Okay.
Shoot. Um,
Guys, if you all have any question, please feel free to put it on the chat. Gary asked, can show us the process after they opt in, how you close them.
yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me 1 second here
Okay.
because it's making me do something and I think it won't let me in probably till I do this. Um, um, Jeez. Shoot. So I'm not going to be able to show that funnel. What I will do is I will get, just wait. I'll get a different link for you guys so that you guys can still see some stuff here. That's funny. One of the domains that I have, I had to renew.
Oh, okay.
So
You have a few funnels that you're running yourself, or is from different teams?
different, like every team, like every system's got multiple funnels.
Okay.
And so this one system I have, all mine are set up on one domain, and the domain that I have set up for this one
Okay.
is I just reactivated. So
Okay.
um
I'm just curious. The dream team, they got their system from you, or they put something up themselves?
so we haven't chatted too much in a very long time, but they basically worked with, when we first got started, we had 6 groups that we taught how, before we had like an actual system built, that we just
Okay.
taught how to build the funnels and click funnels and how to take money in PayPal. And so one of the groups was Caitlin, my girlfriend, and her partner Jeff. And so Darren and Mike used to work with them with
Okay.
that system. And then they ended up getting really, really big, and they built their own version of it, and then they've
Okay.
just run with it.
Okay. So it is not connected with any of your system right now.
Not that might no. They've run off and done their own thing now. No,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Because they're pretty big right now, right?
They're the biggest in all
Yeah.
of, yeah, I think they're the biggest team. Yeah, as far as volume goes, yeah, they're huge.
How important is the Facebook community thing compared to the funnel? Somebody was telling me apart from this whole funnel thing, you need to
Mhm.
have a very strong, that sense of community kind of thing.
I
What's your
I think
take?
it's a big, yeah, it's a big part of it. And there's some people that even don't use funnels; they just use Facebook groups. And this is kind of like getting back to like there's so many ways to do it.
Okay.
But I think regardless, everyone should have either a Facebook group or a place that people hang out. So some people do it in Facebook. Some people don't like that. Not everyone gets the messages when you do it in Facebook, and stuff gets lost. So some people do it in
WhatsApp
like Discord
or Discord?
or WhatsApp's good for chats, but a
Okay.
little bit difficult when like you're
All right. Yeah.
uh, managing full community. Like Discord works really, really good. Facebook's still quite good, but even now they're like limiting Zooms. You can't stream in it on Zoom without using like a workaround.
Okay.
So probably the most people though, the thing is with community is like, regardless to whether Facebook maybe doesn't allow them to see all the messages or you can't, uh, it's where everyone lives. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like a lot of people live on Facebook, and so the easiest place to meet people is like where they're already at, not convincing them. Like I'm sure a lot of you guys, if I just said Discord, you guys probably don't use Discord. So me trying to get all of you guys to go jump into Discord, very not normal, right? Because you're not used to it. Where so sometimes it's easier to just meet people with where they're at. And yeah, you just have a community in there where you're sharing wins constantly. You're showing the results that people are getting. You're putting up interviews like this in there. You know, you're doing a weekly webinar maybe where you're selling stuff or you're getting people to book calls with you. But having a place where new members get welcomed in, you know, new ranks get welcome, you know, so like people get to see the results because especially a lot of people use that as the ad strategy where the first place they come in is to a group like that. Brandon Brown, similar thing. Lacey, similar thing, where they actually just get people to a group. In that group, it's just results and results and results. And look what we're doing here. And look at these people.
Yeah.
Gets everyone excited and then everyone wants to join. So there's some people that do like their whole everything's done in the Facebook groups and they don't even use a funnel and they just use Facebook groups and book sales calls and post everything in there. That works as well. It's really like whatever you do consistently will work. You know, like, you know, there's a lot of ways to do it depending on your budget. But Facebook groups and running people to a group and working together with everyone and putting in a lot of good results and welcoming new members in there works really, really well. Getting a funnel up that will explain a magic and get people to book a phone call with you works really, really well. Selling a $99 you know, front end system that a lot of people are still doing where you sell that and you have the funnels built for them works really, really, really well. You know, selling Go High Level with the tools and selling it for $99 a month and doing that on the front end, then an Magic works really, really well. Like there's a lot of different ways people are doing it now. It's not like when we first did it where it was like everyone does it the one way and that's the one way they do it. Like there's a lot of ways to do it now and they all work. Like whatever one you do consistently will work.
Depends on what works for you, right?
Yeah, what works for you. Yeah.
Matthew, one of our team members, Gary Yao, he's asking, can you show us the process after they opt in and how you close them? How you literally close them online? Because we've been meeting so many people in Okinawa and people are buying quads and trifectas, not knowing the person on the other side, you know, going financing, they don't have the money. So is there any particular thing that you know that how you close these people?
So certain groups go really heavy on quads and they sell quads. I personally am more it's Michael. Yeah, cool, Michael. Yeah, just so
Quads trifecta.
Yeah, quad is right. So I personally only do trifecta just because I like that, like having one of every product. I don't know. I don't think you need a loaner device. But some people like really believe in it. I know a lot of my team, they really push it and like they use loaner devices. So a lot of them really push that, like getting people to use the device, keeping it in their house for a few weeks, you know, and then getting it back. So like that does work. So it's a big part of that. Now, and as far as like the stacking wise, that this is where it opens up like a whole can of worms. It really depends on who you talk to inside of a Magic of like people that stack to -3 versus people that just go straight across. It really depends on you. Like for me,
do you stack? Do you stack?
That's what like we bought a position. So basically, me and Julian bought a position that we shared together, and then we both bought trifectas under that. And
that's
then under
your individual. That's your individual.
We bought individual trifectas under that. And then under those, we already had a team, right? So instead of placing under the top, we placed under the bottom two legs, split it up 50% on one leg, 50% on the other.
Right.
Yeah.
And you go as wide as you can on that two legs, right? You don't stack on that legs, right?
No, I personally didn't. I just go wide on those two. Now, some people are going stacking all the way.
Crazy.
Like, and I mean, they're hitting it. So I don't know. It's like, I think some people talk about how, I mean, the quickest, there's two ways to look at it, right? Because if you do it, the way the comp plan was designed was not to stack. It was to stack. It was for you to get one position. You place all your sales in that one position, and you rank up by teaching other people how to do that. And that's essentially how you rank up. Some people just get to the point where they're like, well, not everyone not everyone does it. Not everyone can do it. I know I can do it. So
Yeah.
why rely on maybe someone else can do it when I can just force it to happen
Yeah.
by making it?
Force
I
matrix. Force matrix.
right? I force it to happen. So I get that angle too, right? Because like, especially when, you look at something like Dash 3 and the legacy stuff that we have, like that's
Right.
a very huge incentive for people. So why wouldn't you maybe like, wouldn't you do, like for me, I don't like things not being in my control. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like I like so if I do it that way and I go wide, I could potentially never hit Dash 3
Okay.
because like potentially I have no one that ever ranks up, and potentially I never hit Dash 3.
Okay.
Or I could go down and force all my sales into the right spots and make sure that I hit Dash 3 and then switch after and go wide,
Okay.
and then after that go wide. What's going to happen there? Yeah, I'll hit Dash 3 faster, but my bonuses are going to be way lower
Low. Yes.
because I'm gonna have no volume really.
Yes.
If I go wide, I might not hit Dash 3 for a while. I maybe never hit it. But if I
Okay.
do hit it, I have so much volume because I went
Volume.
wide,
Yes. Yes.
right? So my bonuses are going to be through the roof,
Right.
right? And so there's pros and cons to going to both sides. I lean towards stacking to Dash 3 and then going wide after that. Um,
Same.
not I don't know about buying two. Like when I say stacking, I mean like I just placed under two positions and I
Right.
control two.
Yes.
Um, is
So
kind of how I did
after
it.
all, the plan is designed for that two to go up, right? And then you
Yeah,
just keep going up the ranks.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that highlight over there. Win has a question. Win from Australia. How much in monetary value do you personally spend on advertising daily and in total to date for Energic? And how much does your team spend on average?
Okay.
Do you have a rough idea on
So
that?
yeah, I mean, I at this point yeah, hundreds of thousands of dollars that I've spent on advertising over the years. But now I'm not spending as much because right now I'm running like I run very I'm not recruiting heavily right now because I just don't have the time to work with like a ton of people right now. So I'm mostly working with leaders. And then what I do is I do run like a $3,000 a month ad budget that so I'm spending about $100 a day, but it's spent on like entry level ads. So like ads that we would teach people to run as their very first ad. So they're not very sophisticated. They don't convert as well, but it's more so I need to be able to know what works with like just the basics so that when we're teaching people, I can show like, here's what's working right now. And so I don't run a crazy amount. Most of the people, like when you see, I don't know if you've seen Samara Rempel. I don't know if you've had her on here at all.
Yeah.
She's incredible, by the way.
Yeah.
She just did 165 grand last month,
Wow.
but she probably spent. We'll have to see. She spent either 10 or 20 grand, probably.
Wow. But that's a no-brainer. 10, 20, make 165.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
many
of course.
times, right?
But of course, she didn't start like that. How we start everyone out is we start everyone at $5 to $10 a day. So you
That's
start out with five to $10 a day, which is $150 to $300 a month.
okay.
And that's per day. So $5 per day per ad.
Okay.
And so start with one. Obviously, the more you can do, the better. And the one thing that I always tell people to start with is I know if I'm going to put up 10 ads, I know 9 of them aren't going to work.
Okay.
Right. So a lot of people, what they do is they put up one ad, it doesn't work, and then they take it down. They put up another ad, doesn't work. They take it down. They put up another ad, doesn't work. They could sit there forever and never have an ad that works. What I do is I do like it's a simple thing of like just like a scientist. You do a split test. You have a control,
AB.
right? A/B test. That's all I'm doing, right? And so what I would do is at first I'd probably be testing the creative, and so it's either the video or the picture. In the beginning, when people are just getting started, they usually find it easier to do pictures than videos.
Okay.
And so I would put up an ad where I'd write the copy of whatever it is of here, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. If you want to find out how, message me, whatever it might be. I'd put up the image and then the audience. And basically, audience I keep very open. So for me, I always make audiences pretty much like you. So mine would be 25 to max 45 males that live in Canada and the US is usually my audience.
Okay.
I don't go too much into like, are they entrepreneurs? Do they do this? I don't go into the interest. Facebook knows that stuff way better than me. I'm going to leave it open and let Facebook find what works there. All I'm doing for now is I'm going to put 4 different creatives up.
Okay.
Okay. So I would put up, if I'm doing images, I'm going to put 4 different images, but
Okay.
they're going to have the same words. It's going to go to the same audience. Everything else about that ad is going to be the same.
Same. Okay.
So it's going to be 4 different ads, but the only difference is it's 4 different pictures, right? What that's going to tell me is what picture works better, right? Whatever, it doesn't need to be profitable. Whatever ad gets me the cheapest result or the best result, I keep and I shut the rest of those off. Now I know what picture works better, right? Now I'm going to keep that picture, or it could be video. If it was a video, I'm keeping that picture, I'm keeping that video, and I'm going to go 4 different types of words. So I'm going to 4 different write-ups, right? With the call to action and everything there. And now I'm going to run that ad up, and it's 4 different ads, but the only difference is the words. Everything else is the same. It's the same picture, same audience, same everything else. Now, whatever ad gets me the best result means those words work better. So I'm keeping those words, right? So now I got the best picture. I got the best words. Now I might play around with the age range of the audience. And maybe I only target men. Maybe I target men and women. I do leave it open to men and women. I do believe it. If I'm girls, usually girls find it better to just only market to women, right? So do that. But then this way, it might not be. So I put up the first one. It's not profitable yet, but this picture worked better. Great. Now I move on to text. It's not profitable yet, but this text worked better. Great. Now I move to audience. It's not profitable yet, but this audience worked better. Let's say I did all of those. It's still not profitable. Well, I can now still go back through and put 4 different pictures now because I've changed the copy and I've changed the audience. It's now a new variable again, right? And so I can go back through it, now get another better picture. Now, oh, that's what did it. Now I got the right picture. Now I got the right text. Now I got the right audience. Now it's profitable, right? But I didn't like throw it all up. Oh, it didn't work. Take it all down, put it back up. I tested specifically with certain things so that I knew if that part was better or not by isolating the variable. So that's the secret to it. You got to know how to isolate the variable so you know what part worked and what part didn't. And the most important part off the beginning is going to be your creative. So it's going to be the video you use. If you can, like Gary, if you're doing video, you should be doing video, right? When you're first getting started and you don't know how to do video and it's a little bit tougher, you can start with pictures, right? But if you can do video, I would do video. It does work better. And you would shoot 4 different videos.
Okay.
Right.
Same message. Same message, 4 videos.
Well, it would be the way to find it. So with video, it's slightly different in that the first 7 seconds of your video is the most important part as to whether they're going to watch the whole thing. And so what I would do if I was split testing a video first is I would do 1 video, right? And then I would make the first 7 seconds of, would you believe that in Canada you can do X, Y, and Z, blah. And then I jump in, or would you believe that most people think they can retire when they're 65, but they can't, blah, right? 7, like the first, whatever that hook is, right? I would shoot. So it's 7 seconds. I would do 4 variations of that, right? But then on the same video. So the first opening, like, hey, something to capture their attention, right? And then as you watch the end of this video, I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. Right. And so what will happen is you take the 1 video, you put that first 7 seconds on 4 different times. So 4 different ones. Then you run those 4 videos with the same copy, same audience. Now I'm going to know which one of those little 7-second things made people actually watch the video. Once I know that, and now it's going to go, oh, the one where I said, hey, most people think they can retire, but they can't. Right. That's the one that worked. Great. Now I'm going to keep that little section. Now I'm going to test 4 actual videos that were the actual full video, right? Because if I don't even get them to watch the first 7 seconds, they're not even watching the whole video anyways, right? So the first thing I need to do is like, can I get their attention to watch anything, right? Once I have that, now, okay, they're watching. Now I'll test 4 different videos to see which one of those videos gets them to take the action the most. But again, it's not leaving it up to, even though I don't know which part of the, like, I'm shooting 4 random videos. I don't know which angle is going to work the best, but I'm not just throwing up the whole ad and then if it doesn't work, taking the whole thing down. I'm very specifically testing the video to see if the video is better, or I'm testing the opening hook to see if that's better, or I'm testing the copy to see if the copy is better. but I wouldn't throw up everything and then take the whole thing down and put up a whole new version of everything, because then I don't know what's the reason why that ad didn't work or did, right? Because even let's say I put up an ad and it's just all this stuff and it works, great. I replicate it. I can't. I have no idea why
you don't know the specifics. Yeah.
I don't know, right? But if I do it where I'm specifically targeting a variable, like a video or like the copy or the audience, now I know why it works. You know what I mean? Like I tested things until I got it to work, and then you do it like that, and then it's so long way of getting back around of you can put up one ad, right? And go, oh, that one doesn't work. And the next day put up another ad. What I like to do is put up, if I can, even if my budget's only like if it's only $5 a day, my first day, I would want to spend I'd probably want to spend $50. I'd want to put up 10 ads, right? Because I want to know by day 2, and I should only let that run. Like, say I'm putting up ads. So say I'm going to run ads. The easiest ones to do right now are just ads to Messenger. Is the easiest ones to learn. And you should be able to get leads, like someone to message you for $5 or less. Some people are getting them under $1, but I would look for it as long as you're getting it for $5. I think that's good. You can even get it for $10 and it's still fine. But I know you can get it for $5 or less, so I'd look for that. And if you're getting $5 or less, great, keep doing that. If you're not getting $5 or less, this is where I'd be doing 4 different videos. Okay, this video gets $8.47. This video gets $7.40. This video gets $2.60. Wow. So I'm keeping that one, getting rid of the other ones. Now let's go to the copy. Can we get it down even more? But even if not, $2.60, I'm happy with. I'll do that all day long. I can at that point, if I wanted to, not do testing now on that one, and I could put now the majority of my budget to that one that I know is working. And we have this rule we call the 80-20 rule. So we would put 80% of our money to the ad that we already know is working. So if I'm running it, it's getting me $2.60 a message, and those messages are leading to calls, and I'm getting on those calls, and those people are buying, and I know that, right? Because sometimes I'm getting leads for $2.60, they're not booking, they're not getting on the phone, they're not watching the stuff. So then it wouldn't work, right? But if I know that if I'm getting them for $2.60, it's translating to phone calls, the orders are going through, right? Then I can put 80% of my budget to that ad, right? And increase the budget. And then I would still be using 20% of my budget to try and beat that ad. Because ads have a lifespan, right? Ads don't run forever. They're going to run for a while. Some run for a year, some run for 2 years, some do run for a while, but eventually they stop. And so you never want to put 100% of your budget just to what's working. You always want to have a good 20% buffer that you're testing other stuff to try and beat this. And then if you can beat it, you replace that, you take that out. Now 80% of your budget goes there. You take 20%, you try to beat it again. And it's just this constant game of, can I beat the last one? And that's all we're really trying to do.
Amazing. Wow. So you're literally like a scientist that is testing every single ads out, right?
Like the most basic scientist ever that barely graduated scientist school, but yes. It's not complex science, I don't know any complex science at all. It's just isolate the variables so you know what's working, right?
You just want to test it to the point that you know what works and what don't, and then you just keep duplicating what works, right?
In my ads campaign, am I promoting an Enagic product or business opportunity? Typically, Enagic doesn't like you running ads saying much, like straight on Enagic. Like I don't think they like that. I don't think they like that too much when you're market, because then compliance has to get involved. Compliance has to get involved regardless. But I always have gone biz op, so I just go super vague in my ads. I don't really talk about what it is. I just kind of say like, I have an opportunity. It's changed my life. You want to see how we do it? It's very like, they don't know, so that they have to reach out to me to find out what it is. And then when they reach out to me to find out what it is, then they'll learn about that it's an adjunct. Right. But in the ad, I'm not really saying what it is. I'm being very vague and ambiguous. I might talk about some results and be pretty vague about what it is. And if they want to find out more, they got to message me. is basically how it is. If you talk too much about what your product is in the ad, a lot for network marketing specifically and affiliate marketing, is what people will do is, oh, it's an Enagic. Now they're going to Google an Enagic. They're going to look up everything about an Enagic. They're going to find another person. They're going to go buy from them. Is typically what will happen there.
Right.
And so yeah,
they'll read up some scam stuff about it, and then they'll just
buy something else.
Yeah, buy something else. You're right. I guess that's one of the biggest reason why, if you look at majority, if not all of the internet marketers do not even mention anything with Kangen, anything with Enagic, right?
But they do in their content. Like if you look at their content, right? If you go to their Instagram profiles, right, you'll see them showing a demo of the water, or showing how to do the cherry tomato test,
but
or
not
how
on
to
the
do
ad.
all the,
But
not on the ad. Not on the ad, right?
Yeah. Is that possible? Is it possible, Matthew, you can share with us one ad, a video right now?
Yeah. So here, I can show you. I'm really sorry that this isn't working. This must have just went down because yeah, so it's probably going to be 24 hours till I get the funnel up. So as soon as I get that up, Gary, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
And then you can share it with everyone after this.
Yeah. Okay.
But for the video,
right,
let me find it. I do have an ad video that I can send to you.
Okay.
Let me see here. It'll be in a drive. And you'll see, like, this is super easy. Like, it's not
Guys, are you getting a lot of golden nuggets from this? If you are, give me a 2. So give me a 2 if you are really getting a lot of golden nuggets, a lot of breakthrough on today's session, so that we know that you like this and we can create more of this. Wow, so many tools. Yep.
Here. So I might just have to send it to you on WhatsApp here, Gary.
Hey, no worries. Okay.
And then if you can send it to whoever, but it's yeah, it's looking like that's
Okay.
Or here, if you can download this, I can send you this link. Just don't send out this link. I'll send you this direct to my drive. I'll give you access to that. Just download the video from there.
Okay.
And then you can. So that's one, and I'll send you the other one.
Okay.
These are both pretty similar. Just two different angles, but you'll see how, like, I'll just kind of, and this is what I would teach, like, newer people.
Okay. The ad is in portrait with the 2 black borders. Is it normal to do it that way, or better
up and down?
Yeah.
So the reason being is, what are majority of people on Facebook on?
Instagram.
Right? What are they on though? What are they
on
using?
mobile.
They're using mobile, right?
Yeah.
So I want it to fit their whole screen.
Okay.
So a lot of the times so now, with that being said, they are doing a push for widescreen again, but for the last while, it's been heavily incentivized where you're getting way better results with up and down because they're on mobile. It's taking up more of the screen.
Right.
If I put it wide, when it's on my mobile, it's only taking up a little tiny bit of my screen. Right. So by having it the other way, I'm taking up more real estate in space. Yeah. Amazing. So I do most of mine now up and down until they make a strong enough push to incentivize doing wide. Then I'll go back, but they haven't yet. So we've been sticking to up and down.
Okay, so Matthew, we've talked so much about this internet thing and all that. What's your advice to the baby boomers? Not really baby boomers, maybe somebody like me, in our 40s, late 40s. What's your advice? Because a lot of the slightly older generation that is so, no experience on all this whatsoever, what's your advice? How do they get started? Do they need to find a collaborator, find a coach like yourself? Because, you know, if we were to learn something today, tomorrow, it will be obsolete already, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's kind of just it's that's how technology is, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it's always going to be like that. And it's just like, you know, are you going to fight using your cell phone because when you were growing up you didn't have cell phones? You know, like it's how it is. So do I want to play the game or not? And it's
Yeah.
not good, bad, right, or wrong. But if I want to play the game, I'm going to have to learn it. And I know that some of the stuff that I'm going to learn is going to be obsolete next year, right?
Okay.
It's just how it is. What I want to learn is as much as possible. What are the fundamental, like the uh, evergreen principles that are always applying? Like when it comes down to it, buying attention, paying for ads has existed forever,
Yep.
right? It just happens now that the attention's on Facebook. So I'm paying for the attention on Facebook. But paying for attention has been forever, right? People pay for attention. It used to be through movies and
Billboards.
all, you know, TV ads,
Billboards.
and then billboards, radio,
Yep.
right? Like all these different forms of media. It just happens to be now that most people's attention's on social media. So when we're going to pay for that attention, and one of the first times where we actually have the ability to pay for attention like
Yes.
that, like
Yes.
most people couldn't afford paying for TV ads or paying for billboards or paying for all these things, right? So it gives us an ability to pay for attention, which is what, like, yeah, in a couple of years it might be a different platform, but you're going to still be able to pay for attention. And it might be, maybe everyone moved to TikTok, maybe everyone moved to a new platform, but there's going to be a platform and people will be paying for attention on it. And so regardless of that, is learning how to sell, like knowing how to sell, which you know how to sell, that
Right.
doesn't change. Like the way that you've sold people, like selling, that doesn't change whether you do that online or offline. You're selling, right?
Right.
So like learning how to sell applies to both.
Right.
It's not something that goes away. The only difference between online and offline is just really how you generate the leads,
Yes.
right? The selling part stays the same pretty much.
Yeah.
Um,
But
and so
the traffic that is coming is definitely much more through online, right?
more expensive.
You get the high traffic if you are going on paid ads, right?
Yeah, well, because you just have unlimited traffic. You have as much traffic as you can pay for, right? And versus like if I go organic, which it should be both, right? You should be doing organic and posting every day and running ads,
Yeah.
right? Because if you do both, then it works really, really, really well,
Yeah.
right? Organic can be done by itself and work really, really well. Paid ads can be done by itself, work really well, but together they work incredibly well if you do both,
Yeah.
right? And and it's like, yeah, you're not going to learn things that are going to get too obsolete when it comes down to it. You're getting attention. You're paying it for attention. You're going to have to learn if a new platform comes out. Yeah, we'll all have to learn what the new platform is and how to do it. But it'll be the same things. We're putting up either videos or pictures or things like that, putting up some sort of media to get people's attention. We got to learn what to say to get them to want to give us their information or message
Right.
us, right?
Right.
And so that kind of stuff, the same thing as like learning what to say to people when you meet them and you're networking, like all that kind of stuff, it's still going to translate. So I'd be focusing on really just how do I get, if my main method of closing people is like on the phone or doing a demo and getting them closed, like how do I generate leads online, getting enough people in my area to message me so that I
Yes.
can get more people on the phone there.
Right.
um and as well would be for the older age group as well, is the more you start to do, like people aren't going to do what you don't do, you know what I
Okay.
mean? And so like if you want to attract a bunch of people, like, you know why I have every system ever all under us is
Yeah.
because I built systems. That's what I did, right?
Okay.
So what does my group want to do? They want to all build systems, right? If I want a whole bunch of people that run ads, right, well, I better start running ads, you know. And then what's everyone going to do? They're all going to want to copy me and they're all going to start running ads. So it's like whatever I want people to do, if I want to attract the young guys that are all going to come in and run ads, then maybe I'll try to run some myself so that I can show them like, hey. And then the cool part about it is they'll probably pick it up quicker than you, and then they'll start teaching you stuff about it. But they're, you know, and it works out great. But it's one of those things where I don't think it's so. For example, I wouldn't go learn SEO Like, I don't know if you've gone down that rabbit hole of like
Search
search engine
engine
optimization.
optimization, yeah.
Because it is insane. Like how much that changes every year is crazy, right?
Okay.
And so for you to like, if you wanted to be good at that, like that's got to be all you do. Is like
Okay.
I'm just an SEO guy and that's what I do. I'm
Okay.
not that, so I'm never gonna learn. I'm not even gonna learn the tiniest bit about SEO
Okay.
because I can go click a button or click a website and pay the best person to do that. You know
Right.
what I mean? I don't need to go and learn that one. But um, with this, it doesn't change as much as that. It doesn't get as crazy like that. It's really like the trends are more so the content than it is the actual paying for the ad. So that's really what you're watching more of. So you learn a lot from what goes well in organic content, right? Because like
Right.
that if you can, if something goes well organically, now you put ads behind it and it goes crazy, right?
Yes.
Um, my stuff has typically been stuff that it organically doesn't go that well, but I force it to go well by paying for ads to do it, right? And so it's one of those things that the content and like getting good on video, getting good at communicating your message, getting good at sharing your story, and getting good at sharing other people's stories. Like doing all of that through video, through different social media, I think is something that, regardless of your age, is super beneficial. And I think the more you do that, the better, and you start to figure out what works. And I would be following all the people that are doing it actively, that are doing really well.
Right.
I named a few on here: Carly, Samara, Lacey. I would follow all of them and see how they're doing it. I would follow people like Brandon. You know, I would look at all these people and
Right.
see how they're posting content and see how they're speaking, right? And then I would start modeling and following, taking things that I like and that I don't like, and I would start crafting my message about my story and different people from your group and stuff like that, and get really good at that part, because that's that part, anyone can then take that video and run ads to it, like, you know what I mean, like,
I mean, they can take your video and run ads? No, right?
no, I'm saying once you know how to do the
Okay.
videos, right,
Yes.
like once you get good at content,
Okay.
right,
You
very
just
easy to
do,
take
yeah.
the harder part is like getting good at doing the videos, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do I do the videos good, and how do I do the pictures and the copy and the words,
Right.
right? How do I get that stuff to all work good? Once I know how to do that, which you can learn how to do that just organically, just by posting and seeing what
Right.
works. A
Right.
lot of the time, you don't need to be spending money the whole time to be learning all of this.
Right.
You learn from others too by seeing what works.
Right.
And then once you start to get that down, then it makes the ads that much easier, because you can make ads work, but like you gotta, the better you are at content, the better the ads work.
Right. Matthew, we're reaching the final part of our session. Are you able to share with us some information like what you shared before the event started? You talked about white label or something like that.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
a really cool thing that I think anyone that wants to be doing, if they want to be building your own sales funnels, it's a really cool software that most people are either transitioning over to using or using currently. And some of you guys might have heard it. It's called Go High Level.
Uh,
Essentially, if you guys have ever heard of Click,
Matthew, are you able to put it on the chat so we can check it out?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's called Go High Level. And then, but if you want to, and then Gary, if you want to,
Okay.
because we have stuff that's already even built too,
Okay.
so you could make your own version of it, and
Okay.
we can give you stuff that we already have built, and then,
Wow.
um, for some
Are
of the
you
stuff,
open for mentorship, coaching program? Me and my team can pay something and learn from you, build something.
um, we can definitely talk about doing some stuff. Like we have a group. If you guys are wanting to learn this stuff, we have a
Yep.
group that's all doing this, where, because, so where I think this should go
Okay.
is a lot of, like, in the beginning I made the mistake of thinking that everything should be one system, and it should be one giant system, and we should try to make this one big thing. And my thought was, we can hire the best people, get the best trainers, get the best this and that.
Yes.
But there's so many, especially in network marketing, there's so many different people with different audiences and different avatars that they target towards, right? And so if everything's all in one, very hard to speak to a lot of different people's views. You know what I
Okay.
mean? If you're all in
Okay.
one thing, it begins to
Okay.
be like too many chefs in one kitchen kind of thing.
Right.
Where
Right.
I do think now is we have like Lacey's got a system, Samara's got a system, Jesse's got a system, Carson, and they're all different because they all have different audiences and they all have different skills, and that's where I think it works best. So what we could do is we can show you, and you guys we can show you how to do with all of our stuff, and then eventually show you how to build your own version of it if you'd like.
That'll be great. That'll be great. How do we follow you? Like, is there something that we can come to you through? Is it the profile link that you sent me the other day, or what works best for you?
My Instagram is my main one there. And what I will do,
Okay.
my Instagram is my main one there. I will send you over. Yeah, because if you want, we have all the software and stuff kind of built. We can show you how we're doing all of that, and then literally show you how to build it all too, if that's something you want to do.
So is yours also the same like Dream Team 148 USD?
No, so this one is, so it's all just through Go High Level. So we're basically selling the tools of Go High Level. So that has like your landing page builder, your website builder. So building any landing page, any webinar page, any funnel, your autoresponder. So you're capturing your leads and you're mailing your leads, your text message responder. So capturing phone numbers and texting those phone numbers. Your CRM. So every person, you have a tracking of everything they've ever done, every video they've watched, every funnel they've looked through, every email they've opened, everything they've done. You can track everything. Calendar, all this stuff. Basically, every one of your tools is built in, and it's $100 a month.
Okay. And this Go High Level, right? You're talking about Go High Level, right?
Yeah, and then that specifically is our version that we built out, because some people, you can change the price. So some people charge $297 a month.
Okay.
Right. Some people charge $197 a month. The cheapest you can charge is $99 a month. So we made it the cheapest. We just made it that. And then basically that has all of the tools all built in one thing. Everything now speaks together all at once. Every funnel, your email list, so where you would send emails to everyone, where you would send text messages to everyone, all speaks in this one nice spot. I can kind of show you here. Let me see. 378. Okay, I'll show you a little bit, and then I'll have to run pretty quick here, but so let me see on Zoom here. Does it let me share screen?
Charger, is Matthew able to share screen?
Yes, should be able to share because of co-host.
Okay, it's giving me an error on my side. Where
Error.
Share sound and share screen, optimize for video clip, share.
No.
We'll maybe have to do, well, because this anyways too, if we wanted to do something like this, I can definitely come out another time and just talk about this, because this would be probably a whole call just in like explaining what this all does.
All right.
But what I can do is I'll send you over a link in a voice message. We can chat about it, and then if we want to jump out, I can like do a full explainer for it. But essentially, it would have all the tools in there, and it has all of our training in there as well. So basically, the way we have it is like, if you buy the tools, the training's all free. So we do a weekly call once a week with Jesse, this one's all run by one of my really good friends and affiliates, Jesse Garnier. He was one of our first students to do $1 million with an Agic. He's incredible at Facebook ads. He's incredible at writing copy. He's very good at building funnels. And so they do a live call once a week, every Tuesday. And then they every once in a while will throw in a second call in the week. And so anyone that wants to come and like share your ads and get feedback on your ads and how they're working, that's where you go. Or you want to share the video that you have and want to get feedback on that, or people are messaging you and you want to know what to say to them, you do it there. And so we have it in there. That's where we share like what ads are working, what ads aren't working, and anyone that wants feedback on their ads or their funnels or anything, they just come share all that there.
So when we get into this so-called we come into this community or something like that, you're saying?
This would be this would be Jesse's group. It's not this group isn't a huge, it's not huge right now. There's likely probably 30 people or so that show up live on that one. So there's still enough where you guys all have room, there's room. It's not like too busy.
Right.
And then and it would really just be like the goal would be eventually is you guys learn the stuff and then I'll show you how to make your own version of it.
Wow. Well, we'll look forward for that. Guys, are y'all excited? Okay, Matthew, last question before we call it a day for today. I know it's kind of late on your side already. Bernard from Philippines has a question. Can we use other low ticket affiliate offer just to get leads and then later follow up with them via emails and offer the Energic high ticket business? What's your take?
It depends. So the only thing I ever offer is like, it has to be complimentary. And so I would never do another network marketing company, right? Like, if you do another network marketing company, you're going to distract your people and it's going to pull people away from Magic. So I would never do that. This is where the tools come in handy, right? Because you can sell that on the front end, right? And you're selling marketing tools. You can sell, like, make your own little course if you want, make a $7 course, teaching people how to do X, Y, and Z. Gary, you could make a course that everyone could sell. You could do things like that. But I wouldn't do, like, I really stay away from doing other, like, the only way I would make sense would be like tools that are going to work with the business.
Okay.
Or if you were selling your own like digital course or something, your own, I wouldn't sell anything where you're another person's stuff. Yeah.
So it must be complementary towards doing the Energic business, right?
That's the way I would want to do it, right? I don't want to distract my people with I don't want anyone going to market other stuff.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, thank you guys. And thank you once again, Matthew. It's been great today. We've learned so much. I know there are so many questions that are not answered yet. We are short of time. But
I can definitely come out again. We can arrange this and we don't have to wait too long. It's up to you guys. But I can definitely come out again. We can go into more on the software side of stuff. Maybe even I can bring out Jesse. And he's actually he's the one that built it and he's the one that runs that one. So he can even just walk you guys through everything and show you how it all works.
Yeah, that'll be great. Guys, just a quick, there are about 60 people here. Just a quick idea. How many of y'all would want another session with Matthew to find out more? Put a me there, M-E. Just so that we know that you guys are serious into this, that you want to learn more. Wow. I think it's a no-brainer, Matthew. Everybody wants you. So let's do another session, this time very targeted and very focused. I may get even my internet marketers on board. They are here today, but they are not how should I say, they are just watching. So they will probably ask you the more right questions, to find out how to get all this working. So okay, last question, Matthew. For the people that are watching you today and they admire you, inspired to be you, what's your one advice that they should take right now today to be where you are? I mean, like you made it happen. You were a butcher or what, assistant butcher, no no tech skill, no tech knowledge, nothing. Today, internet star. So there are a lot of people who are like you probably 20 years ago. What's your greatest advice to them that they can take, to be where they are, to be where they want to be, just like you today?
I think you got to get really, really clear on why you want to do this in the first place. Who's going to benefit from your success other than just you, your family, or charitable organizations, whatever that might be. But really, why you're doing this and why you couldn't live with yourself if you didn't do it. Like, I know for me as well, is like I had to get to the point where, like, I am not staying the way that I'm living. I'm done doing that. And so, what do I need to do every day? It's not about doing like a million hours of work every single day. It's like as long as I know I'm clear on like this is what I'm doing. I'm going to be a professional network marketer. I'm going to be a professional affiliate marketer. That's what I'm going to do. Then every day, what can I make sure that I do every single day? And it's not about doing like a million things every day, but what can I do every day, even if it's just a little bit? Meaning, instead of working 6 hours one day and then nothing for 3 days and then 12 hours one day and then nothing for 4 days, I'd much rather do 1 hour every day and not miss a day. Like, it's
Right.
much more important to do that. So like the consistency and the discipline of like, once I'm really clear on where I want to go, that's what kind of is my like inspiration to make sure that every day, even when I don't want to do it, I don't want to make the video, I don't want to put up the ad, I don't want to message the people, I don't want to get on the call, I remember the why I'm doing this, and I go, no, I got to do it, and I do it every day. And so it's like, have a very, very clear vision of the future and what you ultimately want to be able to do, and use that as the thing that makes you, even on the days when you don't want to do stuff, that you still do it. And even if it is, I just do one ad, even if it is, I just do one video, I just make one post, right? Like it's much better to just be consistently doing even a tiny bit every day, because that's all I did. All I did was I kept doing a little bit. I didn't do a lot. I really didn't do a lot. I did a little bit. I just every day did it.
Consistent.
Every single day, over and over and over again. And even when people like, even when it got tough, I still did it. Even when it wasn't working, I still did it. Ads start not going well, I still did it. Content's not working well, I still did it. Like it doesn't matter on that end. As long as you consistently do it every day and you're making the adjustments, you're trying something new, you're doing it similarly, like how I was explaining, how you're isolating variables so you know why things are working, why they're not. So you're actually doing it and you're actually making improvements. You're not just like blindly doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like doing it strategically. And then just make sure you do it every day. Even if you just did, you would be so surprised what you could do if you did 2 hours a day every day for the next 2 years.
Wow.
Like you'd be incredibly surprised what your life looks like. Now imagine what if it's 3 hours a day you can do for the next 2 years. Like great, but even 2 hours a day for the next 2 years, your life is completely different.
Yeah.
Right? But what are you doing in those 2 hours? Is really the big thing.
We're just curious. You talk a lot about why. So what's your why, Matthew? Why you did it? Why you did all this?
In the beginning, freedom was the big thing for me. In the beginning, I grew up poor. My parents grew up poor. I remember them constantly arguing about money. I remember, not being able to do certain sports or not being able to go to certain activities or certain things because we couldn't afford it. And so I remember growing up seeing that a lot and always knowing that like I wanted to do something. But then I remember going into, high school, barely graduating there, went into college, dropped out there, didn't really know what the heck I was going to do, but I just knew that like, I don't know, I didn't want to work a job the rest of my life. And then I really wanted to travel. So at first it was like the freedom of like, I don't want to be stuck working at this job making $9 an hour at the butcher shop for the next 40 years of my life and then maybe retire. Like I want to be able to travel the world. I want to be able to do these things. And so in the beginning, it was like I wanted to make my why or my goal in the beginning was I want to make $2,000 a month so I can quit the butcher shop and I can go live in Thailand.
Okay.
And I can live on $2,000 a month. And so I did that for a while. And my big thing I think that really pushed me, and it's a little weird, but my dad is traditional business. He's on a supplement company, he's on a fitness magazine, he's very successful in his own right. And he said this stuff would never work. He's like, nah, it's online. That's a joke. It's not a real business. Like that stuff doesn't work. And so part of my like big reasoning why was like, I'm going to prove him wrong.
Wow.
Like I'm going to show him this is going to work. And The only issue with having it where it's like that, where it's is if that person ever comes, like we did an event in Vancouver a few years ago in 2016, 2017 with like 450 people. And my dad came and he finally was like, I get it. I understand, and I'm proud, and that got rid of all my motivation because my big thing was driving to like prove him wrong. And now he believed in it. So now I was like, that's great in one sense. And that's all I wanted. But now that you did that, I'm not really driven to go as hard. And this was before my son is born.
Okay.
Right. The second my son was born, that all changed.
Okay.
I started noticing right away that so when my son was born, I don't know if you guys know, or I don't know if you met him there, Gary, but he's got a scar from about here all the way to here.
Oh, what happened?
Because when he was born, his two forehead plates were fused together like this. And so they had to at 1 year old, they had to slice from here, peel that off, take his forehead off, reshape his forehead and put it back on. Luckily and gratefully, because of Enagic, I was able to spend a ridiculous amount of money to try and do all sorts of different treatments and different things that we could try to make it easier for him, which was incredible. I got to spend a lot of time with him. But one thing I started noticing was he bounced back from that stuff pretty quickly. He's a normal kid. You'd never really notice. But I started noticing him seeing me just kind of, the business is kind of built at this point. I have quite a few other businesses that are built too. I don't work as much anymore. And so he starts seeing me not really do as much, not really working as much, but we're living a lifestyle that's very different from most people. Right. So in his mind, dad just hangs out with me all day and somehow makes money. Right. Which can't be the thing, right? He's not going to listen to what I say. He's going to listen to what I do. And so now the why has completely shifted where I have to be doing this so that he sees me doing this stuff. He needs to be able to see what it actually took to build this. And so I actually work quite a bit. I've been working a bit more, making sure that he sees that, having him come to the event with me, and so he's coming out and getting to see everyone, getting to meet everyone. And so now it's really for being the example for them. Not only making the money and being able to do that stuff, but also showing them that it takes hard work to do that. That stuff doesn't just fall into your lap. Like you got to work really, really hard every single day to make sure that this stuff happens. You got to learn skills to make sure this stuff happens. And if you don't learn the skills, it's never going to happen. So now I have to do this for them. I have to do this so that not the money part, because they're not going to get shit from me, right? They're not getting money from me because that's not how you pass down wealth, right? You want to pass down wealth, you pass down knowledge, you pass down information. You show them how to do it themselves, right? If I just give them a bunch of money, they're going to become spoiled, rotten children in a few years, and it's never going to go anywhere, right? And so I need to lead by example and show them that, if they want to build things, if they want to live a life like this is what it takes. Right. It takes a lot of that, but that now is something that inspires me every day. And I love having conversations with my kids about money or about business or about creating value or about, just different things like that, where I'm very blessed and privileged to be in the position that I am now. But that's the thing that every day when things come up, it's I'm excited to go and do those things. And I'm excited for them to see me working. A lot of times, I'm going to work and get to a point where then I'm never going to work. Well, part of especially as men, right, your value comes from your work, right? And your kids, your sons are going to learn how to work from you, right? And so got to be the example to set for them. So it's super inspiring. And but yeah, it's one of those things that it's evolved over time, but in the beginning it was just I wanted freedom. I wanted freedom. I didn't want to be.
Did you do your Thailand thing already?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You did your Thailand thing already. Okay.
Yeah,
next, Malaysia.
That's one I haven't been. I would love to. Would love to do that. Malaysia. Never been.
Malaysia, Cambodia, Philippines, Vietnam. We'll just rock Asia. All right.
I would love to do that.
Bring your whole crew here.
We should do it. Yeah, do an event and go out.
Yeah. If your timing fits, we are going to have a 2-day KPT Freedom Summit, September 21, 22. I'm not sure if it's too near for you. Come over.
I'm going to be in Bali for, you know,
Oh.
Lisa.
Ah,
Lisa's
Lisa,
doing,
yes.
she's doing a
In
mastermind
December?
in Bali. Yeah.
Okay, after Bali, Malaysia.
Yeah, could potentially. So after, that's my last trip of the year, I think right
Okay.
now is that. So October, November, December.